Hey guys, how are you? So Nancy Pelosi has lost it yet again on CNN after being questioned about a $1.8 trillion stimulus package that was blocked again. Republicans and Democrats have been trying to come to a stimulus agreement for months, and it keeps getting blocked, and everyone thinks it's the fault of the Republicans. But now, thankfully, Miss Nancy Pelosi has exposed herself on CNN, so now we know the truth, and she is being criticized by Democrats and Republicans, and even CNN is criticizing her, and this is how she reacted. Watch.
As you know, there are Americans who are being evicted from their homes. They can't pay the rent. Many Americans are waiting in food lines for the first time in their lives. Can you look them in the eye, Madam Speaker, and explain why you don't want to accept the president's latest stimulus offer?
Well, because, thank you very much, Wolf, and I hope you'll ask the same question of the Republicans about why they don't really want to meet the needs of the American people. But let me say to those people, because all of my colleagues, we represent these people. I have for over 30 years represented my constituents. I know what their needs are. I listen to them, and their needs are not addressed in the president's proposal. So when you say to me, why don't you accept theirs? Why don't they accept ours? Our legislation is there to do three things primarily: to honor our workers, honor our heroes, our healthcare workers, our police and fire first responders, our teachers, our transportation, sanitation, food workers, the people who make our lives work. We couldn't be doing what we're doing without them. Many of them have risked their lives so that to save lives, and now they will lose their jobs because McConnell says let the states go bankrupt.
Excuse me for interrupting,
let the states go bankrupt.
Madam Speaker, but they really need the money right now, and even members of your own.
I understand that, but
even members of your own caucus. Even members of your own caucus, Madam Speaker, want to accept this deal. $1.8 trillion. Congressman Ro Khanna, for example. But let me just quote Ro Khanna, a man you know well. I assume you admire him. He's a Democrat. And he just said this. He said, people in need can't wait until February. $1.8 trillion is significant and more than twice the Obama stimulus. Make a deal. Put the ball in McConnell court. So what do you say to Ro Khanna?
What I say to you is, I don't know why you're always an apologist, and many of your colleagues apologize for the Republican position. Ro Khanna, that's nice. That isn't what we're going to do, and nobody's waiting till February. I want this very much now, because people need help now. But it's no use giving them a false thing just because the president wants to put a check with his name on it in the mail, that we should not be doing all we can to help people pay the rent, put food on the table.
She actually accused CNN of being Republican apologist. CNN, the king of fake news and the king of the liberal biased media. That is how far gone Nancy Pelosi is at this moment in time. But kudos to Wolf Blitzer for actually pushing her on this and not letting her get away with this. So hopefully people are starting to wake up and realize what's actually been going on. Nancy Pelosi will not give Donald Trump a win, and she is so desperate. She is so far gone in the game of politics that she will literally let people suffer and starve and not be able to pay her bills in order to be right, in order to not give Donald Trump a win. And this is exactly what's happening. So this came out in the Daily Wire. Take the deal. Prominent Dems scourge Pelosi after she refuses $1.8 trillion White House COVID deal. And this was something that it was basically a win for both sides. But she can't even give Donald Trump just a little bit. And the reason this was blocked before was because Democrats were putting a lot of insane things in there. There are things regarding climate change, bailing out the post office, bailing out cities that were in trouble far before the COVID pandemic. And this money is supposed to be COVID relief, and they were putting things in there that had nothing to do with COVID, and that's why it kept getting denied on the Democrat side, or on the Republican side. But again, Democrats kept blaming Republicans, but clearly now you see what is going on here. So let's see. Speaker Pelosi refused the White House's offer a $1.8 trillion compromise deal. So this was the compromise deal on coronavirus relief almost immediately upon offering, but some prominent Democrats are now firing back. Okay, Andrew Yang said on Twitter, Nancy Pelosi, take this deal. Put politics aside, people are hurting. Former Obama administration bigwig Dan Pfeiffer agreed, telling Pelosi to ignore potential risks and ink the deal with President Trump, sending relief to families in need instead of forcing them to wait until after the presidential election. While there are political or potential risks, Democrats should aggressively pursue a COVID relief deal with Trump. It's the right thing to do, but the politics can also work in our favor. So they're urging Nancy Pelosi to take this deal. People can't wait until February. $1.8 trillion is significant and more than twice the Obama stimulus. It will allow Biden to start with infrastructure. Obama won in 2008 by doing the right thing on TARP instead of what was expedient. Make a deal and put the ball in McConnell's court. So she is getting it from both sides. And after this episode, I just wanted to share this with you. After this little episode she had on CNN, this article also came out in the Daily Wire. I just thought it says House Republican introduces resolution to remove Pelosi as Speaker over mental capacity. A House Republican has introduced a resolution that calls for the removal of Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, who says she lacks the mental fitness for the job. Pelosi, 81, a career politician who has served in the House for 33 years, is third in line. That is scary, you guys. She's third in line of succession for the presidency, essentially putting her 2 heartbeats away from the White House. Oh, ha. Okay, Representative Doug Collins, Republican from Georgia, finds that unacceptable. It is clear that Nancy Pelosi does not have the mental fitness to serve as Speaker of the House of Representatives. I'm introducing a resolution to push for her removal. Nancy Pelosi's unwillingness to abide by the Constitution, combined with her recent actions, call into question her own mental fitness. It is critical that the House of Representatives demand her removal from the line of succession. How funny is that after her obsession with the 25th Amendment? And I often ask myself, especially with Nancy Pelosi, how many times have we seen her throw temper tantrums or block things not for the betterment of the American people, but to not give Donald Trump a win? She is not interested in the American people at all. It's been clear from the very beginning, whether it was that little video of her in her house in front of her $20,000 refrigerator, which I'm not mad at her for having a $20,000 refrigerator, but I'm mad at you that you can sit there with your $20,000 refrigerator eating your gourmet ice cream while people are suffering and you're not giving them the relief they need because you don't like Donald Trump so much that you're willing to sacrifice the American people. Nancy Pelosi does not care about the American people. This is very clear. So at what point are you unfit to be in office? If you are clearly not working for the people that elected you, at what point is enough and we say, okay, you gotta go. There's clearly something else going on here. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. Thank you guys. Bye.